And here we go for the final race of the championship. It all comes down to this. 5 lights on the board. We go racing for the final time at SUGO. Great start there from Marlon Young. Danny Nasir gets a bit of wheel spin there as they head into one. Andy Reid's going to duck to the inside, side by side, door-to-door contact there between Van Dorn and Danny Nasir. Andy's able to go through. Young leads this race. From turn 2 there, side by side between Danny Nasir and Jaden Harrison. Danny's running backwards now as Mads, can he get up into 3 wide there onto the inside? Almost been a contact, just about lets out the way. It's very close as we can also see Jaden Harrison trying to get through there onto the inside. Meanwhile, Andy Reid loses P2 against Van Dorn. And Marlon Young is gonna run off the racing surface. Van Dorn getting soared to the lead, side by side. Marlon Young against the McLaren of Mike Van Dorn, heading into the braking zone. And watch Andy Reid in the background. He's gonna try to run through. Mike's runs deep. Through goes Andy. He gets Marlon Young there. And now he's going to go up against Van Dorn for this race win. Meanwhile, in the background, Krogsgaard, Marlon Young, side-by-side, door-to-door contact is made. Gonna send him off the track. Mercedes running off. Martin Webster also off the track. 3 wide and 1 dead R. It can't work out.
Marlon, that was uncalled for, man.
No, the car drag wide. I was starting full lap.
Starting to apologize, but now we run up to the front there. Apologies there for the car in the front straight. Should be clear there. And now, as we get on to turn 2.
No dive bomb, Martin. Come on, man. Seriously. I told you no dive bomb. You still do it. Seriously.
And Danny Nasir audibly upset, not happy with a move like that there. And a yellow flag comes out for Martin Webster. And he's into the pits.
X-Play is screwing up.
And Danny Nasir not happy with X-Play.
I can't drive this guy. So difficult.
And X-Play, are they out of this race already? Into this finale. And that takes Marlon Young out the championship indefinitely. He still qualifies for Race of Champions, but how close was that start? Meanwhile, Andy Reid, Mike Van Dorn, 1 chance to do it, but coming behind them, it's the 2 quick drivers. Mads, your last race winner, Jaden Harrison. Came into the server, just the last race, was not able to make the start, but we're gonna see if he can take a race win of his own here. As it stands though, Van Dorn's gonna need a poor finish today if he is going to lose this championship, so it's gonna be all to lose here. But Van Dorn sets the fastest lap of the race, and Matt's gonna take it away. Jaden's gonna take that away from him. So, 4 drivers going in it for the win. And this is going to be a hellacious fight here at Sportsland SUGO. A lot of curb there from Andy Reid. Cannot choke under pressure here. Sandwiched in this championship fight. If he can get past Mike Van Dorn, this would be very huge for this championship. Especially if Van Dorn runs down the order. Gaps all between the top 4 within a second. And there you see them. McLaren, Mercedes, BMW, Mercedes. 3 manufacturers all going for the top spot in this finale race of this championship. On board there with Jaden Harrison. And there you see Mads trying to hustle the car. Remember, he's the quicker one out the top 3. He proved it by extending a gap so huge. We got 20 minutes left to go in this grand finale. And this is really going to come down to it.
Yeah, Danny, I got hit by Bayano. That's why that's going on.
Yeah, you guys are 3 wide. Meanwhile, here comes Mads there. Can he pull a move around the outside? Onto the inside though, and can he get the move done on his teammate? This would be very huge. Mads onto the outside, Andy to the inside, covers off. Now Mads, can he get a move done throughout here? Has to back off as they get into this section here. That's really single file around. What do you do if you're Andy Reese? Do you give up the position to your teammate Mads to let him challenge Van Dorn, push him into a mistake? But then again, you're going to be losing a position at the end of the day. So much on the line here. What do you do? Do you be a team player with your teammate? Do you race against him? But here comes Mads there on the outside. What is he going to do here? Side-by-side, door-to-door action. Can he have the move this time? Not yet. As they battle, Van Dorn has extended the lead to a second. And what a fight this is. The early stages of this battle still commencing. 2/10 the difference between Mads as they now head on to 110R. They climb up the hill slowly, now onto the front straight, but look at the monstrous run that Krogsgaard gets. And he's gonna go side by side with Andy Reese. Don't forget about the Mercedes in the background of Jaden Harrison. Side by side into one. Can he sweep it around? Mads is gonna try to do it just about. He's gonna have the inside line as well. Gonna confirm the move. Yes, he is. Mads into second. But as they battle on, Mads defends the inside. Oh, and a little bit of contact there. Jaden just about gets onto the brakes. So this battle continues. That's what we love to see. Jaden Harrison gonna see if he can try to push it onto the inside. Nose to tail, two Mercedes together. Andy Reese on survival mode here. Desperation goes into the mind of Andy Reese. His championship slipping away as Van Dorn sails off to the distance. And here comes Harrison, the Jamaican now on the outside. Does he go for a move? No, backs out into the braking zone now. Shallow line for Andy Reese. He's going on to the inside, tries to hold it off. Just about. Great defense from him, but Harrison now is going to try to make this car wide as possible. He is going to be able to determine all the moves that Andy has to defend against. So it's going to give him a lot more quicker exits. But Andy into the gravel there as they enter 110R now. Could give a huge opportunity as they head onto the front straight. This would be huge if he can get this overtake done here as Jaden Harrison, because if he cannot, that'll be another lap sitting behind the Mercedes. But Andy Reese is gonna pinch him to the pit wall. Oh, so close it is. Door-to-door action between them. Who is gonna let go first? It's so close. They're like Beyblades on the front straight. Still contact, but Andy Reese is gonna have to relinquish the position. So hard of battling. Jaden, though, is gonna go through up into the podium. What a defense from Andy Reese. Rubbin is racing in these GT cars. Wow. Steven, you said it right. Jaden licking his lips. He was ready to pounce back at any moment, and he saw his move. But it's not over for Andy. Remember, this is still 17 minutes of racing. Cut tracks could still happen. So many things could transpire because now Mads is going to go under a second in the slipstream in the BMW against the McLaren. So now it's going to be an interesting dynamic. Remember, these two, flip them over. That was your positions for race 1. Van Dorn second, Mads P1, but they never fought. Tavar calling out, is it for the win? Is Jaden going for, or is it for a P2? Well, as it stands right now, the BMW is a lot more quicker than the McLaren, but Van Dorn can easily defend here. And with the more defending you do, it's going to back them up as Andy Reese now enters the pits. Cannot afford another catastrophe that happened in the last race. What needs to happen in order for Jaden Harrison to catch back up and potentially win this race, all it has to happen is Van Dorn needs to put the greatest defense he can ever pull off, because at the end of the day, that BMW is quicker. Losing my voice, losing my breath in this final race. It's all so fitting. The final race before Race of Champions commences. 60 easy points for Mads. He's currently sitting at P5 in the standings with 58 points on the dot. Leaders are pretty quick when Mads was able to get onto the slipstream, but now he's on the inside, dives it down, and Van Dorn wasn't even able to get a defense going. Mads up into the lead, trying to go for the final sweep here in this championship final round. Mike Van Dorn realizes that's the best he could have done. defending there. He's 6/10. All he could do now is try to hold on to the slipstream for dear life. Or is he going to enter the pits, though? Take a look at this. Mike Van Dorn is going to enter the pits here. And Jaden Harrison, so much speed. Did he hit the wall there? He did. Just about to slow down. Harrison hits the wall. Just about. But here we go. Pit stop battle between the Jamaican and the Dutch driver. This is going to be a big fight out of pit road. Meanwhile, Baiano's going to go through. Danny Nasir also enters the pit, so all of them at the same time entering the pit. So this is a very particular and curious strategy that these drivers are setting up. But as it stands right now, Mads is going to extend this advantage, holding on to the lead. But here we go. Out of the pits, they both come out at the same time, and they stay in the same positions. It's all about how you exit this part of the track here as well. A little bit of curb there for Jaden Harrison coming out there. A little bit wide, but we're not going to worry about staying in between the white lines. Don't gotta worry about it. Let these guys race out here. Interestingly, look at the top of your screens. Jaden did not repair the car. He's sticking it out there. Take a look at Van Dorn. How much damage does he have? Absolutely none. He's got a clean car in his hands. And take a look at this. Remember, Andy Rees made a pit stop early on. 2 laps before the drivers ahead of him did. And he is 2.1 behind them. This is effectively your battle for second place in the championship. Between the likes of Andy Rees and, well, the driver who's not here today, Cody Lawrence. But Jaden Harrison also behind him in 4th position in the championship. Look at the slide, though, from the McLaren just before they get on to 110R. A bit of a slide there from Jaden Harrison. Both of them pushing very hard. And I think the Mercedes has the legs to fight against Van Dorn. Here we go. Let the party commence here. In the slipstream. Pick your poison. Does he go to the inside? Has to. Van Dorn not budging an inch. Hard onto the brakes. Was it too much? No, it was not. It's a perfect send. Van Dorn relegated down to P4. Jaden up into the podium, but when Baiano pits, it will allow both of them into the podium. What a fight it was, but Van Dorn's not quite over yet. He was the fastest in the first sector of this track. So he can fight, very much so. But with that slide just before they got into 110R, that was just about able to cook the tires enough to not give him the optimal grip he wanted to. He goes wide, gonna take a cut track for his liking or not. 5/10 the difference as they're on the back straight. And Mads, your race leader, now into the pits. And he's all by himself. Meanwhile, Andy Rees, 2 seconds dead. Trying desperately to close up, just about able to. When these two were overtaking each other. 11 minutes, 40 seconds left to go. Baiano into the pits. But both of them slowly exiting out the pits. There is Mads. And you're going to look just at the back of your screen there. Where do you see those GT4s? There they are. They're racing onto the front straight. So pit exit for the Beamer. And you're going to see it coming around. There is your race leader. Pit stops are complete for these folks. I believe maybe the last one should be Danny Nasir, yet to make his pit stop. We're just going to double check that to make sure if I was correct. So Baiano and everybody, yeah, Danny Nasir already made his pit stop. Everybody has already made their pit stops early on in this race. That means 10 minutes of racing. Here we go. This is it. What a fight this has turned out to be. Jaden Harrison extending the gap. And now on course to try to fight the BMW. Take a look at this weight standings. 5% restrictor, 16 kilograms. Reason why he's so light. The kilograms are represented by how many points you have scored throughout this race, and then it's divided by 3 to determine your restrictor plate percentage. Mads, on this case, only had 16 points going into today's race. Jaden Harrison, heavy contender for the championship, was not able to make the first race. He's sitting with 55 kilograms of weight and 18% restrictor. The McLaren had an automatic 40% added on because those cars are just way too quick. So to balance them out, they had taken an automatic 40% kilograms, but it still kept them very close, and the weights are still just as accurate between them. He takes 26% restrictor plate. Andy Rees, P4, 22% restrictor plate and 68 kilograms. You can see at the bottom of your screen for all these drivers we spectate here. Anderson with 4% restrictor, 12% kilograms. Danny Nasir, 6% restrictor, 59 kilograms. Remember, automatic 40 for the McLarens. Now, 9 minutes, 25 seconds to go. What does that mean in this race so far? Well, Jaden Harrison is now in P2. It's not a net P2, it's a confirmed P2. Mike Van Dorn is 3rd place. Behind him is his championship rival, Andy Rees. Let's take a look at those driver standings, though, because right now, before positions in this race are taken into an account, we look at how the points stand regardless. Mike Van Dorn, 103 points. Cody Lawrence, 101. Andy Rees, 90 points. Jaden Harrison has 30 points to make up. He needs to win this race. But as it stands right now, 2.9 seconds. It's the battle between Cody Lawrence and Jaden Harrison. Jaden, though, 24-7. Mads, 24-4. So, very, very interesting dynamic of a battle that's going to take part here. But Jaden Harrison, 61 points. Cody, 40. Cody with 101. So, he needs all the points he can get here, Jaden, if he wants to qualify for Race of Champions. Meanwhile, though, as it stands, Van Dorn, 103. Andy, 90. What does that mean for the championship? Well, Van Dorn needs to drop down positions if Andy wants to win this championship. But he's 13 points down. The last thing he needs. I don't think any of them can gain the fastest lap point. Mads in the BMW has it locked down. So that's 100% going to be his. 8 of you watching the stream concurrent, thank you so much for tuning in this week to CMRSC. Next week out, we begin the final championship. It's the playoffs. It's Race of Champions. We got a trailer and a poster coming out, very hype, by the way, so stick around. As soon as we get those interviews done, we're heading right into the trailers. But in order for Andy to win this championship, realistically, to put it simply, Van Dorn needs a horrendous finish. He needs to finish outside the top 6. He needs to finish dead last. Anderson is going to make their life easier because I think he's a lap down already. So worst Van Dorn can do is finish 5th or maybe have a technical issue leaving him out the race. Oh, heard a little bit of gravel kicked up though. And yes, I did. The gap's down to 1.6 seconds. And these two are going to have a little battle coming down to the very end. Meanwhile, 2.9, 2.8 between Mads and Jaden. Both of them have been trading lap times. Should I say sector times, actually. Both of them trading sector times. So it's been very difficult for Jaden to keep up. Not one of them are consistently quicker than the other. There is also another bonus point, a bonus 5 points going to the driver who has finished all 5 rounds. Who does that go to? Well, that's going to be calculated later on. Nonetheless, though, we are at the final 6 minutes of this race. And we still got 2 great battles left to go. But 3 seconds between the top 2 drivers. Jaden Harrison's going to have a lot to pull off in this final under 6 minutes. 24.6 though. This is personal best. He's a 10th slower. Meanwhile, 1.4 against Andy Rees and Mike Van Dorn. And the Mercedes, is it running quicker? 25.2 for Andy Rees and then a 25.4 for the McLaren of Van Dorn. Andy's quicker. And he is pushing with all his might. into the braking zone. There they go. And then into the left and right chicane. Using a little bit of curb. Remember, Andy Rees was able to overtake Marlon Young because he got a drive-through for cutting the track. Does not want to have that happen to him. Now, next question would be, what would happen if Van Dorn does take a drive-through penalty? Well, one thing's for sure, Baiano, would he be able to catch up? Nah, he's a lap down. What it says on our screens. But meanwhile, the gap down 1.3 with 4 minutes and 27 seconds left to go. So this is going to be it. 4 minutes, 15 seconds. Lap times 25.5, 25.4 from the Mercedes. Andy Rees inches closer in the gap, slowly about to enter under a second with 4 minutes left to go. Andy having the race of his life, trying to get a little bit into the gravel though, but trying so hard to get this podium position, to tell everyone that he is not the driver that you're going to consider the loser at the end of this day. Both of these drivers, you got to consider winners. But as the championship stands, oh, but Van Dorn makes a mistake, and that might be the ticket that Andy Rees needs. Too much curb from the Dutchman. You saw his car go on 2 wheels. The gap's going to run under a second. It's 9/10. And that's going to build more confidence for the Danish driver. When Van Dorn was 2/10 quicker this lap, Andy was able to pull it back. Can he get a miracle here at SUGO to show the world that he is that contender for Race of Champions? Both of these drivers, Mike Van Dorn and Andy Rees, you are going to see for the next 7 weeks straight, fighting to be the champion of Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club for 2024. And we're going to get a sneak peek of what that's going to be like. You're going to see the aliens. You're going to see Gabrielle, Luca Andretta, Alfie Bevan duking it out. Martin and Marlon are going to return in a more dominant fashion as they go on a tour. Every single championship gonna have one opportunity, from GT3, Formula 4, Ferrari Challenge, LMP2s, DTMs, Radicals, and GT4. 2 minutes, 20 seconds remain in the final race. Who is gonna take the final spot on the podium? Mike Van Dorn, Andy Rees. Both of them came into this championship fight with a chance at glory. Only one of them can come out on top. As it stands though, while Van Dorn may be leading the championship, anything can still happen in the final 2 minutes of this race. Into the braking zone. 4/10 under. Almost about 3/10 are about hitting. Into the left-hander. Almost into the gravel. I don't think he did. Now 130. Or should I say 110R? 130R, that belongs to Suzuka. This is 110R. As the tires get so hot around here. But now, Andy Rees has climbed to the slipstream. Van Dorn realizes it and heads to defend. Andy Rees, does he go for the move early on? Hard into the brakes now, heading into one. Andy, does he see the move as Mike goes wide? Side by side temporarily. Van Dorn shuts the door. Andy Rees is going to come right back on him. A little bit into the gravel though. Van Dorn onto the inside. Andy Rees is going to try to pull the switch around. Can't get it done. Have to be going single file through the section here. A lot of curb. Both of them going deep. Andy Rees now. Another chance if he can set up the back straight absolutely perfectly. Van Dorn holding on though for dear life. We should be getting the 2 to go. Might be a small chance. We might have 3 laps left in this race. On the back straight once again, Mike Van Dorn going for another defensive move. Stays to the outside, starts to drift on back into the racing line. It's only one move per driver. Into the defense now. Here comes Andy Rees taking it wide and gonna swing it back around. And take a look at these two, nose to tail in this final race. This is what Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club is all about. Racing to the very end, racing to the checkered flag, no matter what position you put yourself into. This case, it's the battle for third position. Mike Van Dorn in the McLaren, Andy Reeds in the Mercedes. It all rhymes as Van Dorn now going on to the inside, trying desperately to break the slipstream. 2 laps remaining here in this race. A little bit deep though goes Mike Van Dorn. Andy's gonna try the move. He knows this is his best opportunity, side by side, but the McLaren's just about gonna soar ahead. But for how long? Van Dorn covers the inside. Andy Reid's gonna cover the outside. Switchback of dreams, side by side through this section. He got it done. Yes, he has. Andy Reid gets the move done. What a move through the section that only requires 1 car to go through. Andy says, scratch that, I'm creating history. Gets the move done. Both go deep. Both of them must have maximum cut tracks. Trying to break the slipstream. Steven SUGO, the home of crazy finishes. It's just tradition. I can't agree more. Look how close they're getting. Contact is made between the championship rivals. Having to hold up, and he's gonna go back through. What a fight this is. Both of them make contact. They know the rule. Having to let back through. They do. Battle continues. Not even a single word over the comms. And that's unmuted. Back on 110R. And the final lap for the race leader. 18 laps of succession now between these two drivers. Andy Reid's gonna try to defend now. The slipstream, oh so close. We could see a photo finish here. I'm not betting on it. It'll be very difficult if they can both go side by side, but here comes Van Dorn. Outside maneuver, can he get it done? Having to switch back here onto the inside, now turning to the outside. They both snake each other through the line here. This is where Andy got it done. Is Mike gonna give him back his own medicine? Andy runs a little too deep. Andy goes a little way too deep. Loses the position. Mike back into third. Loses it though. Here comes Andy. Side by side. Van Dorn. Contact once again. Andy goes through. I cannot believe it. What a fight we're getting. Andy Reid sails back through. An absolute barnstorm around here. Crowd's loving it. This is an incredible fight of this championship, and it's not quite over yet. But around 110R, around the final corner, Matt will take his 3rd career win, and CMRSC, the final race win of the regular season, goes to Matt. Jaden will finish 2nd, but it's this battle. 1 corner to go. Slipstream to do it. Mike Van Dorn, Andy Reid. They're gonna head out of the final corner. Slipstream engage. Does Mike have what it takes? I don't think so. The Mercedes of Andy Reid is going to hold on in the greatest defense. Could be race of the year. I don't know. My voice is gone, but that race was goddamn freaking incredible. Andy Reid will take 3rd position ahead of Mike Van Dorn, but Van Dorn is champion of the GT4 International Championship. You cannot write a script better than that. Hollywood, eat your heart out. That is close racing to the very end. Checkered flag is out. Van Dorn's a champion once again. What a win. I can't believe it. Absolutely mind-boggling, and what a championship that was. Van Dorn's done it. Nonetheless, if he was able to defeat Andy, which I know he wanted to, let him celebrate. It all belongs to him. This is Van Dorn's moment. Celebrate it, my friend. You're a champion. What a fight we just had to the very end. Mike Van Dorn, you are champion once again in CMRSC. Three-time Van Doren. How does it feel, man?
Yeah, this one's a bit better than the other two. Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to finish the final race on the podium, but it is what it is. In the end, Andy somehow got the better of me. I don't know what happened there
Somehow.
at the end, but yeah, I mean, it's a lot better this way of actually having somewhat of a fight for points. But yeah, I mean, somehow ended up in first after lap 1, and then Andy kind of lost himself a lot of time battling with Mads and Jaden. I mean, yeah, I knew I wasn't gonna get past those, wasn't gonna stay ahead of those two, so decided not to battle them, just let them go to minimize the time loss. But yeah, I mean, in the end, Andy still caught up to me because I made a few tiny mistakes, and then yeah, that was a nice battle at the end, but yep, he got the better of me.
Well, nonetheless, though, at the end of the day, once all the dust has settled there, you do take the championship, and you're going to have your head very high coming into the playoffs. You already qualified back at the LMP2 Spec Series. But how does it feel that another championship for you comes down here at SUGO? Is this your new home?
I mean, yeah, I do like the track. I've been decent here in most races, so if not all. So yeah, I mean, wasn't able to show the full length of it with the amount of BOP that I had, but still made the most of it and still showed that I had pace nonetheless. So yeah, that's it's very nice.
Nonetheless, though, maybe a P4 here, and I know you would have loved to get Andy at the very end, but amazing racing from you there. Incredible stuff. Good battling. Congratulations. P4, but the championship belongs to you. And coming up, third position, Andy Rees. My goodness, you are trying to give us a heart attack here in the booth. Everyone was going insane, myself, the chat. That was the greatest battle I've ever seen. In all my years commentating, that right there is the greatest fight I've ever seen in sim racing history. Andy Rees, man. What a fight, and to come out in third position on top against Van Doren. How was that for you? Take us through your reaction. How are you even feeling?
I'm still shaking. I haven't recovered yet. Yeah, my heart was in my throat the last like 10 laps, 5 laps, whatever. Oh man, I have never experienced such intense racing ever in my life, I don't think. Absolutely just exhilarating stuff. Yeah.
Take us through
Not
that
what
race,
I-
man. How was that?
Yeah, well, obviously I knew Matt and also Jaden. I also knew he had a pretty good pace. They would come up to me, and so they did, one by one. And then I was left with, you know, a little distance up to Mike and also Jaden. And, you know, I thought that was where it was gonna end. But, yeah, just to try to push, and, you know, I think our gap stayed pretty like within like a couple tenths for like a lot of laps, to be honest. And yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect from my tires, you know, having pulled that pretty early pit stop trying to undercut Jaden, which totally didn't work. He had a huge gap on pit exit. I think my entry was probably kind of slow. But yeah, the tires, you know, overheating issues with this car have been that way for all the other races too. And, you know, pitting earlier means that I'm on older tires towards the end here. But yeah, still pulled through, and, you know, we ended up switching back and forth a couple times. And just, yeah, so intense. So just a blast.
Yeah, you're not gonna get better racing like that anywhere else. And you had a good workout as well. Burnt a couple calories as well.
Yep.
Incredible, man. Congratulations on that 3rd position, Andy. You're already set for Race of Champions. It's gonna be a hellacious battle, but we will find out after that one. You're able to take down 1 champion. Let's see how you do against the rest of them. Nonetheless, though, celebrate, man. You deserve it. Great P3 effort from you.
Yes, thank you.
P2. What a race it was for this man here. He came in a little bit late into the first race, but it was just enough warm-up to get himself prepared for this race too. And I'm talking about the Jamaican here, where the chat was absolutely loving him at the start of this one, chasing down Mads, Jaden Harrison. Jaden, that was an incredible race from you. The gaps were opened up towards the very end, but your battle was very eventful at the very beginning of this one, especially in that 4-car battle. Jaden, I'd love for you to take us through how was that race for you?
Yeah, I didn't expect to have that much pace today, but the car felt good. I saw Mads had some massive pace there with like the championship standings balance. It would have been rough, so I wanted to try work with Andy and move forward, like bump draft and try to get up to him, but he wasn't. He made a mistake and I had to just pass him and just go by. I almost sped in the pit. I went in too fast because I didn't get to do any pit practice, and I had to just send the car into the wall to slow the car down so I didn't get a penalty. So the whole of my last stint was just sliding and like drifting the car, trying to get it to turn with no aero. So it was a rough one, but after the tires died, I kind of just started to drop back, and yeah, it was a good race. It was fun.
Very fun indeed. It's a bit of a shame you did not get into that playoffs. Of course, we're going to still get calculations through. There may be a good chance that you have, so just stick with us after we get our trailers and done for the next championship through, and I will confirm with you if you did manage to qualify for Race of Champions. Overall, though, fantastic effort from you. Would have been awesome to see you in the first race. I know you just about forgot, maybe you've slept in. I mean, flying over to Japan, you do get a bit of jet lag. So nonetheless, congratulations on that P2. Well deserved. And yeah, just great effort from you. Always love seeing you racing out here. And P1. This man, absolutely quick. No matter what position you put him in, just shoots up to the very top. Had a great fight in the beginning of this race and was able once again to dominate. 3 wins for you here now in CMRSC. And you, my friend, sweep. It's pole position, 2 race wins for Mads. Bro, that was incredible. Once again, you always just defy odds like it's nothing. What a race for you. Take us through it. I know it may have been boring towards the end, but that beginning phase was awesome from you.
Yeah, it was nice getting a double victory. Yeah, lap 1 was quite eventful, stressful too. So just tried to stay out of trouble. Had a slight touch with Danny. Nothing special, had a bit of aero damage, but that's it. And then had a nice double overtake on Danny and I cannot remember who, but a nice double overtake, and then just trying to catch up with Andy and having a great battle with Andy. A lot of respect, no touches, quite surprised. And then catching up to Mike, like he said. Felt like he let me by, like he said. So from there I'm just trying to manage my pace again. I could see Jaden was quite quick towards the end, so I tried to do my best. And then the last 3 laps I saw the gap was around 4 seconds, so I chilled a tiny bit.
Nonetheless, though, that's a race win for you. It's a bit of a shame we didn't see you throughout this championship a little more. Who knows what you have done, what you would have done in this championship. But I think it'd be very nice to hear that you do finish in, I believe, a net 4th position before we get into fully final calculations. So if you are in that top 5 after being well outside the top 10, that should be lovely to take home with you.
Definitely. Did not expect that.
Indeed. Well, congratulations on the race win. Incredible effort from you.
Thank you.
And that is going to do it. But before we end off the stream here, we have one trailer here, one more championship. So let me tell you about it real quickly before we get into it. So, the final championship of the year that we have coming up next is called Race of Champions. Picture this, every championship that we have done throughout the year meant something if you won it. If you won a championship, you get added to a list that we would come back to come the end of the year, and we've just about got to that time. So, championships complete here, and now we get into our playoffs. Every champion that we are now going to confirm here on our list, and that is going to include Luca Andretta, Alfie Bevan, Gabrielle, Andy Rees, Mike Van Doan, Marlon Young, Martin Webster, Khalil Rickford. And now, as we officially get the points now complete, it is going to be Cody Lawrence who will take the final points standing there, P3, but he's the only driver to have not taken that championship, with two previous champions taking it. So all these drivers will be in a separate category of points, while everyone else is free to join in racing to this championship. These select drivers will have one task to fight against each other, and that winner will determine our 2024 Caribbean Motor Racing Sim champion. So, without further ado, we're going to get into the trailer now. I'm going to direct your attention to the stream directly after that. We have a wheel spin that will determine the next track that we do for the championship. More info is going to come right after this. I'm going to send the link back to the stream. Tune into it now if you already have it, and enjoy what we have. So, just before we end off today's broadcast, couple things we have to get through, and one of those things that we do, we have a trailer. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time, 20 championships later in Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club, and we get to the playoffs. Enjoy.